Hey guys, it's Britt coming to you live, and I'm really excited to talk about this because, oh my god, I see so much bullshit advice, or I mean, maybe it works for some people, but just in my personal experience, advice around relationships that if I would have followed that, I would not be where I am today. In this relationship that is what I want. So I really want to share with you guys some of the things that I did that manifested my dream relationship, or the relationship that I wanted. I was going to call this Manifest Your Dream Relationship, but then I was like, the dream can change so often that I want to just call it Manifest the Relationship that you want in this moment, okay? So say hi to me, you guys, when you're popping on here. Hello. And if you're watching on the replay, comment #replay. And yeah, I'm so excited to talk with you guys. So the first thing that I want to mention is, in manifesting your dream relationship, you have to know clearly what it is that you want. Okay? But even more important than that, you have to stand by that. Okay? You have to stand by what you want. Hi, Jill. Literally, at all costs, even if it seems like it's not happening, or even if it seems like you're being unreasonable, or even if it, seems to be, taking forever, or maybe even you already have a guy in your life. Or have a woman in your life and they are what you want, but then everyone around you, maybe your family and your friends or whoever, right, are giving you their unsolicited opinions about them and saying like, you shouldn't want that, or like, they're not good for you. That's not a good guy, or that's not a good girl, but you're like, in your heart and soul, this is actually the kind of person that you want to manifest, whether it is them or not. You need to stay strong in knowing that everything that you want is in your vortex, okay? And so what is the vortex? It means what you are manifesting right now. Like, if you have a desire for something, it's because it is meant for you, okay? And actually it's already created, and all you have to do is line up with it. So my first advice really for all of you is that once you have defined what it is that you want, and that might take, some writing and journaling about it, and, kind of just noticing what you appreciate in men and women that you're dating or finding or thinking about or dreaming about, right? But once you've defined what that is, it's sticking by that and knowing that you're worthy of all of that, right down to the very last drop. Jill says, I push mine away by worrying. Hey, we've all done that. And there's a quick fix for that, Jill. And it's just changing your mindset and knowing that you are worthy and knowing that you get to have what you want. And sometimes it takes some work to get to that place where you're no longer worrying and actually blocking what you want. But it can also be an easy and quick shift if you're ready for it. So yeah, my first steps for you guys is knowing what you want, right? And not feeling ashamed about what you want either. Like, I'll give you a little example. So, well, as you guys know, or as you guys should know, I've got a baby in my belly. I'm pregnant. And this is a lifelong dream of mine, especially in the past 3 or so years. I really wanted this in a relationship. I really wanted to have a child. And a lot of people around me, said, you're so young, or maybe that's not what you really want, or oh my God, you know how hard it is. And I'm like, yeah, I know all that, but I just really feel a soul calling, like I want to have a child, right? And I do believe that souls have contracts, like we have soul contracts with our child. So really there's been a child wanting to be born through me for quite some time. So, but also I would meet guys that did not want children, right? And can any of you relate, where you really want something, but the men that you keep meeting don't want that same thing, and then you start to feel discouraged, right? So that discouragement, hi Mike, that discouragement is a direct sign that you are going against your own desires, okay? Not them, okay? Not this particular person who seems to be not in alignment with what you want, but you. So if in that moment you're with someone who doesn't want the same things as you, and this is something that I trained myself to do, which ended up to leading me to manifest this guy that did want and does want exactly what I want in a relationship, you have to know that your desires are divine, and like the reason that you want something is because it is meant for your soul to have that. Like it is a soul desire, right? So when you're interacting with people or meeting with guys that don't want the same things as you, you have to not get discouraged and just realize that what you want is coming. And this can be really hard for people, right? When you're staring at someone right in the face that doesn't want what you want, and to still believe like what I really want is out there. But that's what you have to do. And so how can you do that when you're in a situation where, like I said, like with the baby thing, I had to train myself to do this because like, thanks Naisha, you're so cute. A lot of times, yeah, I would meet with guys because obviously guys my age, some of them aren't ready to have babies, or actually I'll say most of them aren't. And that's another thing too that people used to criticize me a lot about is I kept saying, I want an older guy. And people were like, Brittany, like you don't want an older guy. Like, don't you want a guy like who's closer to your own age or whatever? And I was like, no, that's not actually what I want. I want an older guy. And everybody's like, no, Brittany, no, you don't. No, you don't. And I held to that. I was like, no, I do want an older guy. That is what I want. And I want to have babies right now. Hey, Allison. Yeah, how have you been? Taurus time. So I had to hold to that. Now, yes, my man is a few years older than me. I think he's 16 years older than me, which is sufficiently enough. And he also wanted children, and we created one inside of me. So there you go, right? I manifested that. But you guys, for so long, it seemed so discouraging because, yeah, I would meet with guys that I would be dating or whatever, and they just, you know, one of the biggest pet peeves was when guys would be, you know, so worried, like, about you getting pregnant, right? Or having a child, and just so, like, scared children in a way, right? They were just so scared of it. And so what I had to do to eventually manifest the type of guy that I really wanted was trust that, well, these men obviously weren't it. As soon as they said they didn't want babies, I was like, okay, you're not it, right? Like, you're just not it, even if they were good in other ways. But also, and this is the thing that most relationship coaches or just love advice in general will not tell you, I still was able to enjoy those men who weren't it, and whatever it was, right? Like if I was on a date with them, like dinner, I would still enjoy them, even though I knew they weren't gonna be the one, right? Or just whatever kind of relationship it was, I would still enjoy and appreciate those men for what they were, because you know what? Some of them had very good qualities, and I still, you know, check on old guys' like social media pages, and I still like respect them and think they're great guys. And so why am I talking about other guys? So I'm just talking about in the process of your dating, right? Because also another thing too, if you do want to meet someone, it is good to actually spend time with people and meet them. I mean, it's not a prerequisite. You don't have to. Like if you really hate the whole thing, you don't have to. But I'm just saying, if you are, you need to not be discouraged when you are interacting with someone who's not what you want, okay? And you need to still find a way to enjoy them in that moment with full knowing that you get to have everything that you want. Is that making sense? Forgive me, pregnancy brain makes it a little bit harder for me to explain complex concepts because my brain is like a fart sometimes. But really what I'm trying to say, and what I think that most love advice really misses and is really fucking people over with, if I do say so myself, is this like, it's almost like this too strong boundary where it's like immediately if I'm mingling with someone who's not what I want, I have to immediately cut them off or immediately go into a negative state because this isn't the relationship I want and actually you're not what I want and goodbye, right? Rather than enjoying the moment for what it is, okay? And being a person who just in general enjoys life. Hi, Dad. Hi, Jules. So when you become a person who is enjoying life, even when you haven't found this perfect person yet, you are going to be way more magnetic and attractive to that ultimate soulmate person that is who you're wanting, right? But you won't get to your ultimate soulmate person who is what you're wanting from being critical of the men that you're meeting, from being negative. Yeah, being too negative about relationships in general. And the biggest emotion that I want to talk about and that I already talked about is that feeling of discouragement. When you're meeting with someone, or you're dating someone, or you're just even messaging with someone who you think is a potential romantic interest to you, and you're just like, oh, this isn't who I want. And then allowing yourself to feel discouraged and to feel like, oh my God, why is this taking so long? Or to feel like, wow, all men are jerks, or just getting into those negative states, right? When you're in those states, you're not manifesting what you want, okay? When you're in that state of discouragement where you don't believe that you can really have what you want, or that there's really a guy out there who's what you want, you're not manifesting it, okay? And here's the thing too, you guys. Thank you, Jules. I so appreciate that. Here's the thing. What was I gonna say? This is what I was gonna say. Okay, yeah. How to know if you're on track. Pay attention to your emotions, okay? If you are feeling already in love with life, and you are already excited to go out even during the day or going out at night because you know that your soulmate person is like right around the corner, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so excited to meet them. But then at the same time, it's almost like you're in this state of, well, I'm having so much fun as it is already that even if I don't meet them tonight, it's fine, because actually I'm having so much fun and it's fine. Like, I ended up being in that state for probably around 6 months before I manifested my guy, where I was in this state of like, hey, this is so fun. I'm living my dream life. It would be cool to meet a guy right now and have babies, which has been my ultimate dream since, you know, however many years ago. But actually, I don't care, because holy shit, everything is so fun. And I was like a little kid. I was literally, yeah, I was living my dream life. I went to New York, which was one of my dreams. I met Katrina Ruth, which is another one of my dreams. And so there were so many other things happening that were my dreams. And this is where you should be too. You should be living out multiple dreams so that one dream, like let's say the love dream, isn't getting exhausted, right? By it's not manifesting, right? And you want to kind of build on the areas of your life that are working to get that other dream flowing as well, right? And use it as proof. Like, use it as proof that's like, let's say you manifested, you know, travel to some amazing place that you always wanted to go, but your love life sucks. You could say something like this to yourself that would be a more positive note. I manifested that travel so I can manifest love. Like, I did it over there, I can do it over here, right? And you just need to move those beliefs that you had about travel and move them to love, or whatever it is, right? Like, we all have issues in our life, and we all have places where it's easier for us, right? Areas of our life where it just is like ease and flow, and we just have a really easy time with it, and everybody looks over at us like, wow, like you're really magic in that area. And we're just like, what? No, it's just a given. Like, obviously I always travel where I want to travel, or obviously I live in my dream apartment, or obviously like my business is booming, or obviously I attract all the men who are exactly what I want, right? So you want to build on the areas that you are already doing well. And if you feel like you're not doing well in any area, really look a little bit deeper, because I bet you are, okay? Usually we're a lot harder on ourselves than what is the actual truth, right? So if you really feel like you're not doing good in any area, I would look a little bit deeper, because I bet there's one area where you're really fucking killing it. And then you need to bring out that area and appreciate that area and recognize your power from that area. Hey, Erica, how's it going? Loved your lashes, by the way. I saw your lashes on your Instagram story, and I was like, fuck yeah, those are good. I gotta get mine done again, but since I've been pregnant, I'm getting so allergic to them, like something to do with the glue or something. And so Ugh, yeah, actually, I don't want to get lashes right now, but I might get like a lash lift or something because maybe that would not make me sneeze for like weeks afterwards. But anyways, I love them. Not to go on a negative rant. I'm a little bit sad. Can someone heal me of that? That's something I need to heal myself from, is getting allergic to my fake lashes so that I can keep getting them all the time, because it was so nice. But you know what? I don't mind it without them either. Either way is good. I like to appreciate lashes in others. I don't always require them for myself. Thanks, babe. So yeah, what was I saying here? Oh my God, I get so hot when I'm talking, especially lately. Oh, okay. Yeah, I should ask about like maybe a different glue. My mother pops on right as I'm talking about eyelashes, and she's like obsessed with eyelashes. She literally goes like twice a week. And she wants me to go too. She's determined to get me to always have lashes as well. Because mothers know best, right? But yeah, what was I saying about love? So yeah, that's something that I really wish all women and all men could know, is that it's an Abraham Hicks concept of you can't get there from there. So if you're constantly feeling discouraged about your love life situation, and when, like, let's say, I'll give you an example of something that used to happen to me. So let's say you're out with a guy, and then all of a sudden, yeah, like this is something I mentioned earlier too. He says something like, oh, I don't want kids right now. Or, oh, I don't want a girlfriend right now. Or something like that. That's totally like crushing, right? Like, oh my God, like, if you're not fully believing in your dream relationship and some guy says that to you, it's literally like emotionally crushing. Like, who's experienced that, right? I bet most women have. But here's the thing. I actually got to a place before I manifested my dream man where literally a guy that I was dating could say that kind of shit. Or a guy that I really had my hopes and my heart on could say something like that. And then immediately I would know, oh, he's not the one. And I wouldn't feel sad. I wouldn't feel negative emotion towards him. And I wouldn't doubt my dream man existed at all. Okay? And that's the place that I really want all you ladies to get to, is this place of like, literally every guy that you meet in the next week or month or year could be totally not what you want. But you wouldn't doubt for a second that your dream man is right around the corner. Okay? And here's the thing too, when you really actually have that belief so fully, it shouldn't take long. Like, it took me about 6 months of consistently just not giving a fuck about the relationship anymore, because I was so certain of it, to manifest my dream relationship. Okay, so that might have even been a little bit long. I think maybe there was a part of me that wanted to do a few things before I even had that relationship that might have been blocking it. Like, for you guys, it could only take 30 days, right? Like, it really depends on the person, and it also depends on the soul requirements and sort of the soul contracts even between you and your soulmate. Like, a lot depends on timing, right? So I don't want to just say, oh, it takes 6 months, or it takes, 30 days of doing this, or you could meet him tomorrow. You could meet him tomorrow if you actually got into a really good vibe state and you didn't have a lot of resistance around it. So there's no actual, like, amount of time that it takes to attract your soulmate. But if you have a lot of resistance around it, it can take some time of deliberately working through that. Okay? But yeah, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having boundaries and knowing where you stand and knowing what you want. In fact, because that's the first thing that I said, is be very clear on what it is that you do want and then hold by that. Okay? No matter what anybody says, right? Even if they say, you can't have that, you shouldn't have that, he's not good for you, blah, 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 right? You're going to hold strong to what you want. Thanks, Adam. Yeah, a few people said that. A few people have said that. So, yeah, they definitely grew, like, huge, and they're not done growing. So that's a great thing about being pregnancy, amongst all of the things that aren't so great, is I grew my boobs naturally. Which is fun. It's super fun, and they're not hurting so much anymore. So yeah, it's great. But yeah, back to the relationship stuff. This is my favorite stuff to talk about, you guys. If you have any questions, or if you're watching this on the replay and you have any questions, please feel free to comment them, and I will reply to your comment as well. I will mention too, and I probably should have mentioned this earlier, that this is the last chance ever, well, not ever, but in the next like year or so-ish, because I'm going to be raising my baby, to work with me one-on-one. Sometimes you really need someone to kick your own ass into what you've always known to be true about this stuff. You need to work with a coach. Like, it can't just be you all the time in your own head trying to change all of your own limiting beliefs and trying to work through stuff and heal stuff and do this. Like, it can happen so much faster if you have someone as a guide and as a coach, okay? And that's what I'm here to do. This is your final call for that, just because, yeah, I'm gonna do this coaching package is for 3 months. And then so that'll end a little bit before I think I'm getting probably super fat and pregnant. And so, yeah, it's just the perfect time for me. I'm so excited for the new clients coming in right now. And yeah, if you've been called, or if you've been feeling called to work with me one-on-one, now is your time. Cheryl says, I agree with that. I tried to do it alone. Yeah, and it just, like, some people can. I'm not saying, like, everybody needs to have a coach, but it's just if you want it to happen faster, right? Like, rather than studying this stuff, like, you know, for me, I started studying relationship law of attraction stuff when I was about 17. So that took, like, almost 7 years for me to, like, get to this place where I got really good at it, right? But, like, you could work with me and you could have this shit mastered in 3 months. So really, it's a no-brainer to have someone working with you through this stuff, especially the relationship stuff too, because I do feel like, you guys, there is so much bullshit that is being fed through Facebook, through stupid memes, through love coaches that I don't agree with. There's so much stuff that, like, if you didn't read it and learn that, you would actually manifest your soulmate a lot faster, okay? And a lot of the stuff that I see that I'm talking about is stuff about, like, all the the toxic people and cutting people out of your life and basically taking no personal accountability for your own relationships, when literally this is all you. Everything that you're attracting is you. We can change, or you can change, but I can help you change those vibrational patterns within you and within your energy field that are attracting to you those relationships that aren't pleasing to you. And you can even change, like, let's say you're dating a guy and he's not really treating you the way you want to be treated. You don't have to cut him off. You could actually change your energy, and half the time, maybe even 60 or 75% of the time, the actual person that you're with is going to change to match your new beliefs, okay? Or you can gracefully and easily close that relationship off, okay? And while still having love with them and forgiveness, and so it doesn't have to be this huge blowout, right? And bring in the new person, right? It doesn't have to be this huge scary thing. It doesn't have to be this you're toxic and I'm doing me now and, you know, boss babe or whatever. You can actually love everyone, have no hatred or resentment towards anyone, and see how they were all your teachers and helped you grow into this person who is now ready for what you actually want. Okay? That's what I wish I could tell everybody in the whole world, is just, it does not have to be fighting and struggle and hating and resentment and, you know, putting up the wall and all that. Everything can be done with unconditional love and grace and ease. And oh my God, the most important thing is this can be so fun. This stuff can be so fun. Like, if we work together, we are going to have fucking fun. Yes, we're going to do deep stuff. Yes, we're probably going to get into your childhood shit that's still fucking with you about relationships. But holy shit, we are going to have so much fun too, talking, laughing, and helping me get into your brain. And, well, I'll help you get into your own brain and rewire that stuff around men that's just blocking you from the man that you actually want, because it gets to be fun, it gets to be easy, it gets to be like a party. Like, oh my God, like when I talk to my clients, it's like talking to best friends. We get to talk about all of the fun stuff, and I can rewire your brain around sex. I can rewire your brain around any shame that you have around just being a sexual woman. I can rewire your brain around jealousy and loving a man who's maybe not doing everything that you want him to do in this moment. We can change your energy so that he does do more of what you want him to do also. And manifesting better men in general. If the men that you're manifesting are just not the caliber of what you want, like, there's so much fun that we're gonna have, and it doesn't have to take long. This is a 3-month package. Message me if you want to sign up. This is the last one-on-one coaching I'm gonna offer in the next probably year or longer, however long it takes me to get a handle on raising a child. So yeah, let's do this if you're ready, and if you're not, that's okay too. Just so much unconditional love and blessings to you on your journey, and just know it gets to be easy, it gets to be fun. Stop hating where you are. Stop hating the men or the women that aren't appearing to be what you're wanting, and get more aligned and get more certain and get more sure that you get to have everything that you want, and watch how you can just mold the world and mold the people in it to what you want. And if you can't mold those people that are already in your life, you'll attract new ones that are ready. And like I said, like, I just had to stick to it, right? And I found my man who was everything that I was wanting. And like, sometimes he'll just do stuff or say stuff and I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember when I was visualizing that, how a man would act and treat me like that. Or, oh yeah, I remember when I put that on my list of this is the quality that I want in my next guy. Like, and that's the really fun part too, because that's when you really see like how you created everything and how you are creating everything, is then when you're actually looking at the person and you're like, oh, this is the person I journaled about. This is the person I visioned about. Like, this is the person I dreamt about and, you know, wish for, but not really in a sense wish for. It's like, this is the person I fucking created with my own mind, because I'm that powerful. And once you're in that state, you feel powerful to create all things in your life, which is really the state that God intended you to be. So I hope this is helpful. Love you guys. Message me if you want to work together one-on-one, or if you want any more info about that. And remember, you came for the joy of living. Bye, guys.